Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
Hey guys, today we are discussing the chapter 8 subnetting IP networks. So this chapter is coverage by designing, implementing, and managing an effective IP addressing plan ensure that network can operate effectively and efficiently. This is especially true as a number of host connections to a network increases. Understanding the hierarchical structure of the IP address and how to modify the hierarchy in order to more efficiently meet routing requirements is an important part of the planning IP addressing scheme. So this is the broadcast domain. Is an Ethernet LAN devices use broadcast to a locate. This is the example of broadcast domain. This is the router one. This is the internet. This is the switches. So a device use resolution protocol or ARP which send the layer to broadcast to known IPv4 address on the local network to discover the associated MAC address. So the services is a host typically acquires its a IPv4 address configuration using the dynamic host configuration protocol or DHCP, which send broadcasts on the local network to locate a DHCP server. So for the reason or subnetting, this is a meaning of the topic. So let's discuss. This is the LAN 1, LAN 2, LAN 3, LAN 4, and the LAN 5. Locations such as the floor and the building, the figure 1. Organizational unit, device type, any other division that makes sense for the network. So this chapter describes how subnetting is performed. Understanding how to subnet network is a fundamental skill that all network administrators must develop. Various methods has been developed to help understand this process. This chapter will focus on looking at the binary method, although a little overwhelming at first. Focus and pay close attention to the details, and with practice subnetting should become easier. So subnetting the octet boundary. This is the subnet address. It's a 256 possible subnet host range, 65,534 possible hosts per subnet broadcast. So this is the internal network address. This chapter is to understand the subnetting the octet boundary can be useful. Consider the following example. This is the example. The figure 2. This is the 65,536 possible subnets, 254 possible hosts per subnet, and this is the broadcast. Did you see the difference in the figure 1 and figure 2? So let's wait. The internet is so very slow. Classless subnetting. The examples in so far borrowed host 24 bits, which is the 24 bits for common 8, 16, and 24 network. You see this the plus 8 However, subnet can borrow bits from any host bit's position to create other masks. So this is the prefix length, subnet mask in binary, number of subnets, number of hosts. So this is the number of subnets. Can we see they multiply itself? For example, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 16 times 2 is 32, and 32 times 2 is 64. They multiply by 2's. And this is prefix length. And next, so video demonstration. This is the video demonstration.
Pointed out that subnetting makes sense from the binary perspective.
Can we listen?
In other words, when we take the IP address and the subnet mask and convert them to binary, I have the IP address on this row here, I have the subnet mask on this row, converted to binary, that the computer and the router are able to logically AND or combine the IP address and the subnet mask and find the network address. In other words, this ANDing process is a logical process of ANDing. So a true and a true makes a true, 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 false and true makes a false. And if we do that and logically AND the IP address with the subnet mask, we get the network address. So 192.168.1.10 logically ANDed with 255.255.255.0 produce.
So we start in the instruction. The instruction is, in this activity you are given a subnet mask in decimal format. Enter the binary representation of the subnet mask in the octet field provided. Additionally, convert the mask to prefix notation format in the prefix notation field. So in the subnet mask is we need to 255 in all in all. So let's start in the bits is 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 because 1 2 4 16 32 64 128. So it's 255. So again 1 1 1 1 and 252 is, I think, is 1 1 1 1 1 1 0 0. So in 0 is 0 0 0. So the prefix notation is 22. So let's try to check. So correct. So let's proceed into the next. This is 8.1.4.5 activity. Determine the number of bits to borrow. This is BLSM. This in the instruction. In this activity, you are given the number of hosts that are needed. Determine the subnet mask that would support the number of hosts as specified. Enter your answer in binary, decimal, and prefix notation format in the field provided. So let's try to answer. In the host needed is 25. So is 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 and 1 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. So 255. Here's the answer. And this 27 is because 255, 255, 255, and 224. So the prefix notation in the 25 hosts needed is 27. So in the next is host needed is 1000. So 11111 11111. Next is 255555 and 00000. So in this host needed is 255.255.255.252.0 and the prefix notation is 22. So in the next is we need to 75 hosts needed. So let's try to answer is 1111111 1111111 1111111 and this 10000000 and the subnet mask I think is 255.255.255.120. So let's try, and the subnet is 25. Prefix notation is 25. Next is the 10 1111111 1111111 1111111 0 and the subnet mask decimal and 20. In the host needed is 500. This is the answer. 11111 11111 1111111 0 and 0 and this is the answer. And so as you can see, the subnet mask binary and subnet mask decimal. If the subnet mask is all one, the subnet mask is 255 because if you add the value of one number is 255. So the prefix notation of the first is 27, 22, 25, 20, and 23. The subnet mask of the decimal is 255.255.255.224. This is the first subnet decimal. The second is 255.255.252.0. Next is the 255.255.255.120. 255.255.255.240. Last is 255.255.254.0. So this is the subnet decimal. This BLSM. Determine the number of bits to borrow. So this is the subnet binary, and this is the host needed. So let's try to check if our answer is correct. So correct. Our answer is correct. You have correctly determined the subnet mask and enter it in the binary, decimal, and prefix notation format. So let's proceed to the next activity, the last activity. The last activity is have a part 1 and part 2. The part 1 is practicing BLSM. So the instruction is table 1, use regular subnetting to accommodate the network shown. Table 2 is uses BLSM to further subnet the network. Drag the addresses to the appropriate subnet description. So in the first is subnet mask decimal. So that is a 255.255.255.192. Next is first prefix notation. So this is the one notation. So that's the answer, I think. The first full subnet range. That is a, I think this is 192.168.5.0, 192.168.5.63. The fourth is second full subnet range. So that is a 192.168.5.0, 168.5.64, 192.168.5.127. The last is last full subnet range. So this is the last. Let's check if answer is correct. So correct, you have correctly calculated the subnet. So we go to the activity 2, practicing BLSM. Here is the instruction. Table 2 uses BLSM to further subnet the network. Drag the addresses to the appropriate subnet description. This is the table. Choose table 1, second full subnet range and BLSM to calculate for 20 user for subnet. So BLSM prefix notation. So I think that's a notation because have a one notation choices. Second pool subnet range from table 1. So that is a I think is 192.168.5.64. So here is in the new BLSM subnet mask decimal. So this is the subnet mask decimal. So this activity chapter 8 is very challenging for me, and the fourth is first full BLSM subnet range. So the subnet range is, I think that is 192.168.5.64 / 192.168.5.95. So the last is last full BLSM subnet range. The 192.168.5.96, 192.168.5.127. Let's check. Oh, it's correct. You have correctly calculated the subnet using the BLSM. So let's proceed to this. As you can see, this activity is very difficult for the beginner. So if you not read the CCNA chapter 8, you can answer this activity because this activity need to understand and need to more knowledge to answer this activity. If your knowledge is low, you can't answer this activity. As you can see, the subnet mask binary is 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. So this meaning is 1 2 4 8 16 32 64 and 128. If you add the value of that is equal into the 255. That's why 255 255 255, it's a same value. It is 11111 11111 and 11111. So that's all for the chapter 8. So I hope you learned something from my blog. So the next video is a chapter 9 activities. I hope you understand, and thank you for watching and listening. So don't forget to click the notification below and subscribe, and thank you and goodbye.